Okay, yeah, so here we are. We're continuing, of course. Content not suitable for children. And yeah, I think we're good to go.
Nice.
Cool, cool. So his bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left! No time to waste, guys! Let's get moving!
Seven led the way down the hallway. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall.
Look! The door on the left! I can see the dead!
There was no time to rest or catch their breath. All three slammed their hands in quick succession over the panel on the dead. Pant, pant, pant. Still trying to catch his breath, Seven leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
Imagine the voice direction in the booth for just, like, laugh. Like, his smile. Yeah, just laugh. His smile
laugh
seemed
3 times in a row, each progressing.
Yeah,
each time we laugh.
You have to go ha ha, ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha.
Ha.
His smile seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but... Whew, you never really get used to it.
He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
You have no...
You little... You wanna die?!
I'd like to see you try.
I don't want to see him try killing her. That sounds brutal.
You fucking brat!
Sounds
Alright,
like an
let's
unfair
go!
fight.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfair fight.
Hey, calm down, guys. This isn't the time for this. It's not gonna do us any good.
Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced.
Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna go see if there are any other doors.
They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway.
We just came through this door. And of course it's shut tight.
There's a short hallway on the left here. And an iron wall. I doubt I can get through it.
At last, he gave up and returned to Seven, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey, something's written on the door. On that iron plate.
It says operating room. If this thing's telling the truth, there could be body parts inside here.
Well, this is probably not going to be pleasant.
Something about it made Junpei feel nervous.
Well, there's no point to standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
Seven grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
A chill snaked its way down Junpei's spine.
Let's just go.
Quickly, he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed, with Clover right behind him.
Huh?
Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a screen.
What the hell is this?
Why don't we take a look?
Hey, Clover.
Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer around the screen. Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums.
What?
Clover!
He and Seven ran toward Clover to see what had frightened her.
Hey, what's wrong?
They rounded the screen, and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear.
What the hell is this?
Is this a corpse?
It was something that looked kind of like a human, lying across some sort of bed. No, not a bed, an operating table. The table sat on a rusty steel lift, and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down on it from the ceiling.
We should probably take a closer look.
Yeah.
Slowly they approached. As they got closer to the body, it became clear that it wasn't a body at all.
This is...
What the hell? That's just a huge doll or something.
Doll?
Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible from as far away as possible at the thing. Junpei could see her relax.
You're right. It's only a doll. Man, it really scared me.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Yeah, bring it on, you whale!
Hey, guys, not again, okay? Seriously, knock it off. Jeez. Anyway, it looks like he's got something the two of you could stand to have a little more of. I'm talking about a heart.
Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah.
It was set a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
I don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Or maybe it's got more personal uses?
Seven's grin was more than a little perverted.
Personal uses.
Clover, I like that term, personal uses.
Maybe get some more personal use.
Yeah, give it some more personal use. That's the puzzle we gotta solve here. Give it some more personal use. Clover glared at him.
Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Let's go.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Okay. Escape room number 4. Okay, so this is our operating room. We also have doors off to the sides here. So the double door on the right-hand side is where we came in, and then one of those is the exit, but there's also a closet that makes up one of those ones. So what are we going to start with?
Inspect the body.
Yeah, let's inspect the body. These dolls are really kind of creepy, you know? Hey, it says something here. John. You think that's this doll's name? Maybe. This thing is creepy. I wonder why it's on the bed. Can I look at it? Creepy medical man is lying on the bed. Apparently his name is John. Oh.
Kevin, would
Yes.
it be too much to ask?
Yes.
You know, you're reading it, of course, and you know, such a great reader, right? And you know how they don't have the voice acting for this part.
Yeah.
You want to try and imitate them?
Oh my god, no. An operating table? I can't do it.
You could probably do Big Buddy, not Clover.
Yeah, I could probably do 7, but... Do you think old operating tables looked like this? I have no idea. Okay, well apparently that's what happens when we click on the table.
Huh. I guess we'll look to the right.
Okay.
What is in there?
Under the sheet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
Creepy.
Man, someone really used it personally.
Yeah, this is some personal use. Oh my god.
So can we click on it? Saying it?
Yeah. Another medical mannequin? From the looks of it, this one's a chick. She has a name too. Lucy. Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm. Maybe we're supposed to gather all her parts.
Huh. What if we click on that bottom thing? Or no, it just does the same thing.
There's some kind of device attached to the bed. It says KG on the panel. Is this a scale?
Oh. I think. Can we pick it? Let me click on the parts.
I think it's just got a new description. This bed
Okay.
doesn't look very comfortable.
Okay. To the right.
To the right.
Or no, go back.
Go
Okay,
back.
Click on the green.
The like furnace.
Yeah.
Okay. To make sure. What's this thing? It's got these short iron legs. Maybe it's a heater. There's nothing inside it.
Click on the tray.
We can click on
Huh.
like a lot of different things here.
Fire away, Kevin.
Got some forceps, bunch of surgical tools. Actually, I think the forceps are probably the only thing we can click on after I said that. Yeah, it looks like it.
I
Okay,
like how you first thing that was only available.
I clicked on the only thing that was available. It was the thing that stood out to me.
Okay, to the right.
To the right. Got a torso.
Click on the. Oh,
So I was just gonna grab the torso. Click on the. Sorry, go ahead.
can we click on the drawers?
Yes, there are a whole bunch of bottles on the shelves. They all look like medicine. They've got labels, but they're all big medical words that I don't understand. There's a lot of different kinds of medication. It's hard to tell them apart.
Okay. To the right.
Alright.
What's this?
So this is back where we came from. So if I click this, if I click left, it leads to a preparation room. And if I click right, it leads back to the original door we came out of, which is the one on the right, and a chemical room.
Let's go to preparation.
Okay, preparation room. It's locked. We can probably find the key if we just look some more. Let's look somewhere else. That's the left thing over there.
Go to the left.
To the left. This way.
Can we check those drawers over there? To the left.
Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that gauze to kill the bacteria. There's a boiling thing over here. There's nothing on the lid or in the drawers. And these are...
Honey.
The drawer is empty. Yeah, nothing there.
Okay, to the right, to the chemical room.
Chemical room. Looks like it's locked.
Son of a bitch.
Guess we're gonna need a key for this one. That's all that's on that side. You want me to turn right?
Might as well. I think we're gonna go back to the. Oh, alright.
You want me to click
What?
on?
What's on the table?
Okay. We're grabbing
Oh,
this. Grabbing a scalpel.
yeah, that one. That one. Looked good.
Nothing else here looks interactable. None of this
Yep.
other stuff looks useful. Yeah, it's all pretty rusty.
The game's way of saying, yeah, that was it.
Hmm.
Click on the thingy.
Okay. A medical mannequin with its guts showing. Ew, gross. Hey, Junpei, there's a slit in this thing's chest. Yeah, sure is. There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Grunt. Damn it. Stinking thing won't budge. It's stuck. Well, I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small that can fit into that little hole.
Like a scalpel.
Like a scalpel? I had the scalpel equipped. Scalpel isn't it. Scalpel isn't it. We had the scalpel equipped already.
Scissor.
Forceps. There we go. We got a fake organ. It's like a lump. Okay.
Okay. To the right. I think we're just going back to where we started. Yeah. Can you click on the scale part?
Yes. Hey, I wonder what this thing is. It says kg on the display. You think maybe it's a scale? I thought there was a way to look at this. Hey, there's some sort of lid on this thing. Why don't you try opening it? Can't. There's no handle. I can't get under it with my nails either.
Ow.
Yeah, that would hurt. So there's something that looks like it could be a scale next to the operating table. It has something that looks like a lid on the front. Old operating table. The medical mannequin is lying on it.
Can we click on that tarp?
That's the same tarp. If I...
Oh,
if I
god.
were- Yeah, that's the same tarp. A white cloth.
Wow, I didn't know.
Wow.
And why do we re-put the cloth back on?
Here, I just thought of something. Because I don't really remember this one. But what if we cut the fake organ?
Alright, I had to do it, Kevin.
Like, it looks like there's a key slot in
Yeah,
his
it
chest.
does look like it's a
Okay, this key
slot.
clearly opens one of the doors, though, right? Which door we want to try?
Preparation.
Okay, preparation. Key. Cool, it's unlocked. Okay, let's head over to the preparation room. So this is the preparation room. These are the two angles we can take.
To
Would
the
you like-
drawer.
okay, drawer. Let's see if, a piece of paper. What's this? Is this some kind of medical record? New material has been added to the file screen. So if I go menu, file, medical record. The medical record found in the preparation room and has records for the two mannequins. There's a male mannequin named John and a female named Lucy. The record shows that each mannequin's total weight and a weight of their individual parts. So here's their total weight. That will be important later. Okay,
To the right.
right.
Check the left table.
Left locker?
There.
Oh, sorry, the left table.
What is...
Looks like this is a light.
Okay.
So it looks like we're gonna have to fill this with a liquid
Yeah.
to distort the. There's a ray of light
Light.
going through the beaker, and it's hitting the thing on the right. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna have to fill this with some sort of liquid. Can I take the
Yep.
beaker? I found a beaker. Oh, no, we can't take the beaker. There are 4 different lights, each one with a different color: white, red, blue, and purple. Does this thing react to something and then the lights light up? Maybe we have to
Okay.
do some more searching around first.
To the red door.
Lockers. It won't open. It looks like it's locked. There's a red plate on it. You think that means something?
Blue door?
Damn, it's not opening. Locked, of course. The blue plate on here seems a little suspicious, though.
I wonder if the third door will work.
Damn, it's not opening. It won't even budge. It's got this purple plate on it, too.
We're gonna have to light, okay.
We're gonna have to light that thing.
To the right.
Yeah. To the sinks. Oh.
To the sinks.
A sink. Doctors and nurses probably wash their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here.
I
That's it.
have all suspicion now.
All the suspicion. That's everything we can access from that screen.
Back to...
I'll try this door.
Yeah, sure.
It's locked. It won't even budge. You think this is the exit? You notice it has an astrological symbol. I'm not sure what that astrological symbol is for, but we're gonna have to get an astrological key to open that door.
Damn it.
I think that's everything in this room.
Pretty sure with the same key we can open the other room. Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Awesome, it's unlocked.
Hog. Oh no.
This is the chemical room.
Oh no. I feel a lot of wrong decisions coming my way. Check the middle table.
The middle table. Yeah. Rectangular table. I wonder, did people mix medicine on this thing?
Okay.
Click on the actual bottles here. So we have a safe. We have iron equals 1, salt equals 2, water equals 3, carbon dioxide equals question mark, ammonia equals question mark, ethanol equals question mark. There's a note on top of the table. Iron, salt, water, carbon dioxide, ammonia, ethanol. What do you think this is a hint for? Maybe it's got something to do with this box.
Okay, okay. Now we're gonna... Blue liquid. Red liquid.
We're just gonna grab those. Where's the purple liquid, Leo?
God damn it. It's probably in there, isn't it? Check.
Oh, go ahead. Check.
The left?
There we go. Hey Junpei, you think there are any slugs on this ship? Huh? Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them. What's she pointing at? The label states NaCl. Salt, huh? You think Seven will shrivel up if we put it on him? Hey, you say something?
Okay then.
I'll click on the top shelves. Junpei, there's a bottle of iron powder on the shelf. How do you know it's iron? The label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right?
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want me to click next?
That book on that shelf looks very ominous.
But going with shelf.
probably- the center. You probably
Okay.
can't.
Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? I'm talking about that bottle. It says C2H50H. OH. That's actually OH, not 0H. Right? It's ethanol. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of. So, you're gonna drink it? Nah, I won't. It might say that's what's on the label, but there could be anything in there.
Yeah, might as well try it.
Cold glug glug. That was that shelf. Can you click the top shelf? Okay. Something stinks. Is it coming from this bottle? It says NH3. Well, that of course stinks. It's ammonia.
Keep sniffing it. I heard it really helps the body.
Want me to click on the right shelves?
Yeah.
Huh, Junpei. There's dihydrogen monoxide on this shelf. Why don't you just say water? What's this? Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2. So it's a can filled with carbon dioxide. I think that's all we can do in here for now.
For now. Okay. Man, where is... Should I go... Yeah.
So, put blue liquid in.
Okay.
Hey, the blue light turned on. And I heard a noise. It sounded like something unlocking.
To the blue door.
To the blue door! We got a leg! Okay, why don't we do the red one?
Yeah.
Seems to be a red liquid. Red light's on now. I think I heard another noise. Got another leg!
Our weird Frankenstein will be coming together. Now mix both of them.
Thank you. When you said, where's the purple liquid earlier, I'm like, Leo?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I get it.
You shut your goddamn mouth. I know my primary colors. I don't know what you're talking about. I know what red and blue makes. Ah, this is green. Okay.
It makes blurple. You
makes
combine the red liquid and the blue liquid to make a purple one. Good job, Junpei. The purple light came on and I heard it unlock. I'm sure it's unlocked. The locker with the purple plate has got to be unlocked. How many times you got to say it? Alright, let's see what happened.
Kevin, this is for the minds of me. So it's repeating because it's like, oh, we have a player like, ooh,
Stomach.
a nose. I see a nose. That's all I see.
Nose.
That's all I see now. Oh god. Just
That's
see
what we
a
got
big
from the
nostril.
lockers. So we're still missing an arm, aren't we?
I also only saw a nose.
You also only saw a nose? Because we're still missing an arm, aren't we? Because we like...
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause we have a leg, and the chest and the stomach. So we are missing
Her-
right arm.
Put her all together. Wait, can we?
We can't put her together until we have all the parts, I think.
Can we? Okay. Did we miss anything?
So I think that's probably in our
Chemical.
safe here. Right?
What does it mean?
Alright. So if you remember the chemical compositions, right? Fe is iron, right? So it's only one chemical that goes in iron. Salt is NaCl, so two chemicals go into that. Water is dihydrogen monoxide, so 3 chemicals go into that. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, right? So then we gotta go, what is the carbon dioxide and what is the ammonia and what is the ethanol? So if I click on this, the box is locked. It's like you have to enter a passcode on the keypad to enter it. I can only enter 3 numbers. E is for enter and C is for clear. Once you input the number, press E if you mess up, and press C. So let's give it a shot. So we pull this up, and it's gonna give us a panel here. We gotta enter 3 numbers. We gotta figure out what the password is, right?
Yeah.
So we have to figure out what this note means, right? Iron 1, salt 2, water 3, so carbon dioxide, right? Ammonia and ethanol. What are the chemical compositions of those? And then do we just add them together? I don't actually know. I don't actually know what we do with the things, right? After we get them. But we want to look at those shelves again, right? So bottle of salt on the shelf, NaCl. We already know salt is 2, right? Bottle of iron powder says Fe. We already know iron is 1. So ammonia is NH3. So that's 4 chemicals in ammonia.
Yeah.
Right? We have a bottle of ethanol. Ethanol is C2H5OH. So we're looking at 2, 7, 8, 9. 9 chemicals in ethanol. Carbon dioxide is of course CO2, so that's of course a 3. And of course water is H2O. So, do we want to just add all those numbers together?
Yeah, let's
We
do it.
probably need to put in a passcode. I mean, geez, they've even got a keypad on there. How much more obvious can you get it? Only enter 3 numbers. Okay, so iron is 1. I'm just gonna pull out, of course we can't access the in-game calculator here while in this menu, because that would be too handy, right? So iron is 1. Salt was 2. Water was 3. Carbon dioxide is also 3. I said 9 was ethanol, and how much did I say ammonia was?
4.
4? 22.
Wait, Kevin, before we do that, what if it's just what the 3 other...
Oh, what if it's just what the 3 other numbers are? You're probably totally right. So carbon dioxide is 3. Ammonia was
4, 9.
3, 4, 9. You're probably right.
I mean, I was trying to big brain, be like, we gotta find the digital root of the 2 numbers, blah, 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 and I'm like, what if it's just 3?
Bingo. Bingo. So we got our right arm and we got our heart.
It looks like a jelly bean.
I know it does.
You think we should go back?
Yeah, I think that's probably
What an
best.
odd place to put voice acting.
I know, right? Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit.
Hey, Seven, what's up?
Oh, well,
He looked up at Junpei distractedly and back down at the brown bottle he held cupped in his large hands.
Is that a medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here,
In response, Seven tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted it around to read the label.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
yeah, that's right. It's EDT.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Clean what up?
Fuck if I know. Still,
Huh.
it looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
Junpei looked up from the bottle.
You remember something?
Yeah.
Seven nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about EDT. Happened about 50 years ago. There was this factory somewhere in America making big old EDT crystals. They were making it to sell as an industrial strength cleaner, like I told you before. But a year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals, called a hydrate. Once the crystals turn into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless. But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere, even ones nowhere near that first American factory. They'd been making crystals the same way, with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. At fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal. Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. But after it happened at the first factory, it just spread. It was like... man, how do you say it?
You mean like it was infected with a virus or something?
Seven shook his head.
No, not like that. It spread like wildfire. It showed up in labs that were completely isolated from the rest of the world. It even started happening to crystals that were completely sealed up. It doesn't seem like it could have been a result of this stuff coming in contact with other samples.
Then...
Well, I guess it was some sort of information. Like, the crystals were transmitting this information all across the world somehow.
what information?
How to make a new crystal. Someone had to tell the stuff how to do it, right? Like he just whispered to the EDT in the tank, hey, if you do this, you can take in water molecules.
Come on, man, that's just... I mean, who is this someone anyway?
Someone you can't see. Someone who exists all over the world.
You mean... like a god?
Or maybe the devil.
Seven grinned as Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next. Clover's shrill voice pierced the room.
Hey, what are you two doing over there? Stop wasting time and get over here.
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
With that cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he'd just heard.
Information being transmitted invisibly. Could such a thing really happen?
Well, thinking about that crap isn't going to help me right now. We need to figure out how the hell to get out of here first.
He took a deep breath, tried to clear his mind, and followed after Seven. Okay. We can
To the
go back to
bodies.
the tables. Okay. Something that looks like a lid on the front of it. We want this body. Ah, an old hard bed. There's something that appears to be a scale attached to this bed. Can I not? Okay, so we've collected the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we've got must be for Lucy, right? Yeah. It seems like it. Well, I say we give Lucy her parts back. Any objections? Nope. Agreed. Alright, let's get this started. Combine! Hey, nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight. Weight? Yeah, well, you know how there's scale on the side of the bed. Maybe we need to get the scale to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John's. Oh, let's give it a shot. So now it's gonna give us instructions on how to swap parts between the 2 different mannequins in order to get them to the right weights.
Okay.
So if you remember
wait.
correctly, we have that
Can we see that later?
file. Let me see. Can I not bring it up? I have to hit exit. That's annoying.
Okay, we'll just look real quick.
I think if we knew the weight of each part, we could figure it out. Okay, so we're gonna pull open file, medical records, and then we're gonna turn that off. Okay, so here's our weights. So Lucy should be 53.2 kilograms, and John should be 51.3. Those are the 2 numbers we need to remember.
John's
John?
on the lighter side.
John's on the lighter side. He's 51.3, and Lucy's 53.2. Oh, I'm not
Okay.
clicking hint.
Oh wait, go back. Wait, I think...
Sorry. Go ahead.
If John is lighter, okay, go to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be as simple as? No, I might be wrong, but we can try it.
Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so he's supposed to see 51.3. The things we can't swap out are the legs and the heads.
So, if he's heavier, I mean, why don't we just switch all the body
The
parts?
arms are on the wrong side.
Hey, Junpei, I just heard something. It came from John's operating table. That wasn't a very good puzzle. We better check it out. That wasn't a very good puzzle at all, jeez.
I was like, their weights are pretty similar. What if we just switch them?
Oh, the lid on the scale.
Ooh.
Hey, it opened. Oh, I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weight to the what's on the chart. So we got the Jupiter key.
Jupiter.
Shall we go?
Yep. That was the hardest puzzle yet.
Yeah, that one puzzle was super hard.
Hey, hold on.
Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob.
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her.
Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something, an attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier.
Let's just get out of here. We've got the key. Let's use it. That cool with you?
Yeah,
Clover nodded, almost imperceptibly. Still, Junpei was glad to see she was at least somewhat responsive.
Then it's time to go.
He put his hand on her shoulder and guided her to the preparation room. As they arrived at the door, she suddenly stopped.
I'm sorry.
What was this? Why was she apologizing? Junpei wasn't sure what to make of her.
And then Clover killed them all. The end.
Oh, that's funny. Was she emotionally unstable because her brother had gone missing?
I'm really sorry. Just forget everything I told you, okay? Don't
Yeah,
worry
why'd
about
you say
it.
that?
Really.
She's
I mean
next.
it.
What exactly does that mean? He's dead, and that means she's next? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
How could anyone pretend not to hear something like that? But something told him this wasn't the time to press the issue. Junpei gave her the warmest, kindest smile he could manage.
All right.
Thank you.
Her smile was weak. It was almost painful to watch.
Damn, what the hell took you guys so long?
Seven looked up as they walked into the room. I apparently can't read this. Seven looked up as they walked into the room, clearly irritated.
You playing doctor in there or something?
Maybe. Jealous?
Seven avoided answering the question.
Yeah, it was, man.
He stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
All right. I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, alright?
That's how I
Fine
feel
then.
about this game.
He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it.
You found a red bottle. Wow, look, we found a red bottle. Hey, did you know that was a red bottle? Wow.
I know.
Jeez, that red bottle, though. Wow.
You know what? Trust me, it's a good game.
I like the game. I
I know,
think it's
I know.
great.
It is funny.
Just think it's hilarious.
It's a little too hand-holdy. I agree with that. He felt it unlock.
Damn, that blue bottle, though. Looks pretty blue.
It looks pretty blue. At least it didn't tell us to combine the blue and the red bottle. We had to figure out how to do colors ourselves.
Wow, red and blue. You know that makes purple, right? Weird. That information might be useful later.
Yeah. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was
All right.
it.
Let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
You know, only fighting for your life in a death ship.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. Just sound
You're
more
so
happy.
serious.
I don't know why when he said get a little excited, I just think of Senku's like get a little
Get excited.
Get
This is
excited.
10,000% awesome.
10 billion%.
Oh my god.
Not really.
All right, Lipidadooga, let's go going. It's like
Let's
what the
get
fuck?
going.
Jimmy Jammy Juice, yeah, woo, Jolly Jew, let's go on to Death Hell, woo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what Seven wanted.
I don't know what Seven wants. Seven's a weird guy.
I mean, he's
Junpei.
the amnesia, a great memory of everything else besides himself. So
I know, eh? Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
what is that?
Silver had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead, and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
You found it!
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Be like 2 seconds.
You hear it?
Yeah, I hear it. Good thing that's only 2 seconds. Good thing you only listened to that for 2 seconds, right?
I know, right?
I know,
love
right?
listening to
I was gonna say, you're aware I'm totally cutting that down to only be 2 seconds on the video, right?
Oh, no! You need to bring people with that pain. Come on. People can skip it if they hate it that much.
And we're back! They left
Wow,
the operation. I know.
Wow, 2 seconds. You were really right on that.
I
2
was
seconds.
exactly right. Literally to the millisecond, I was right. Literally
I
to the
didn't know.
frame of the video.
I didn't know anyone could be honest with a 2-second BRB. Jeez.
I know, right? They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in the corner of the hall.
May as well give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover. Anyone want to wager a guess? Leo?
Is
It's either the creepy guy or her brother.
Santa Claus. Go.
It's Santa.
Jumpy!
It was the
Damn.
it wasn't Santa.
Huh?
Fuck.
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa! And Lotus too!
See Santa.
They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
See, I was right about
What are you
the
doing
doors.
here?
They all lead to the same area, sort of,
What?
kind
But
of.
we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover
Hey
spoke.
guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of the small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd
Look
found.
on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway.
A map of the ship's interior?
Wow, it
It
seems like
says
our face
C-deck.
is really close to this map. Like it's like
I know, right?
look
Really
at this map
close.
that we just slammed our forehead into.
So it's the map for this floor then?
We already have the map for the floor above for B deck, right? So this is now the map for C deck.
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
See?
My guess was right.
But also, if you look on the very bottom, the other door would have ended up here as well. Door 3.
Oh, door 3 would have just went right through.
The very bottom. If you're following on the video, you can follow my mouse, but Leo can't actually see my mouse. So yeah, right at the bottom there. And so that means that door at the end of the hallway that we were just looking at will exit back out into the hospital room.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
so
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
sorry, Leo, go ahead with your question or statement.
it's like if we went through door 3, we would instantly
Yeah.
just didn't need to go through any puzzles. But 3 is really hard to.
And there is a smaller room. There is a small room there. There still is a puzzle room on the other side of that.
Oh, okay.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
we may as well go. Yeah.
They moved as one for the door.
Almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other
Ready?
5.
I'm gonna open it.
Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door.
It's a lot darker than I remembered.
They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they
I
were.
knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
The hospital room!
In the hospital room.
Where is 1? Where is Ace?
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
He looked like anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed like his brain was working as well as ever.
Good save.
Yeah, I know, good save, right? He had managed to grasp and summarize and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
He shook his head without a rueful smile. With a rueful smile. I did not save that one. Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
Seven smiled.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. We found a couple more in the laboratory in the kitchen. Here, the Earth key and the Saturn key card.
So this is what we have so far. Earth, Saturn. With that, she pressed them into Junpei's hand. The metal key had the Earth symbol on it, and the key card had the Saturn symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way
where
it
would
won't be
you
my
s-
fault if it gets lost.
Where would you store it?
Kevin, of course, it's going to be in the boob of holding. Come on. Infinite. It's
Infinite
a
storage.
Yeah, exactly. You put it in, transport it into a different plane of existence to be held.
Yeah. The fucking fan in ReZero. Priscilla pulls the fan out of her tits, and it's like, that fan's like a foot long.
Boob of holding. The boob
Yeah.
of holding.
On it.
Junpei felt slightly less than honored.
Yeah, we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Earth key that Lotus just gave me. And the Saturn key card that Lotus said was in the kitchen.
Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs,
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at Seven as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. Seven looked everywhere in the room, except at Clover, and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 equals 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3. It looked like Seven was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get moving.
And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and Seven would discover what lay beyond door number 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Seven nodded as if this answer made much more sense and pulled the lever on the red.
Okay, we're off.
The door opened and Ace, Clover, and Seven jumped through it. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving?
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
Okay, so we're going to go down the hall. They were at the end of the hallway, lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. Twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great! Back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
So, is there a reason we came back to the Grand Central Staircase?
Of course there's a reason, obviously.
Of course there's a reason.
Yeah. This is you
Lotus.
said, of course there's a reason.
Man,
Lotus,
sometimes I can't tell
explain
if
it.
they're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key? I'm
Oh, it's
lost.
the headshot key.
Yeah, headshot. Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sound good?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search should be
We have no idea what's on the other side of these. So don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Plan decided, the two teams split it up. Split it up? Junpei and June headed for the elevators.
There's a card reader next to the left
Like it.
elevator.
Yeah, exactly. Slighted. Slighted up.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
A light on the upper left corner blinked
Great.
life.
It looks like it's working
I
now.
heard it. I never saw anything. My immersion.
You know when someone says it's a visual novel.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of motor as the elevator car moved down.
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
He grinned at June and stepped towards the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of.
Let's get it started. We're gonna die in here.
Oh my god! Okay,
Yeah,
which one do you want me to click? Just for the shits and giggles, which one do you want me to click?
I mean, I know the right answer.
I think we all know the right answer. The right answer is being locked up alone with a boy, but...
Actually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What one do you want me to click for the dialogue
Mine
options?
is telling me no.
Your body is telling you being
Oh, my
locked up
comedic-
alone with a boy?
But my comedicness is telling me yes.
Yes? Okay, I'm gonna do it. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small place, alone with a boy.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, you could say, he thought. He knows the word demure, but he didn't get this, you know.
You couldn't get the subtle.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause we only can go down. No. It's
Yeah.
because you're gonna be with me.
Yeah. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was.
Jumpy?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
Again, he stepped towards the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained.
I said wait a minute.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never... You know.
It's your first time?
She'd never been in an elevator with a man alone before? Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
We picked the right.
Get wet.
What? Oh, what the fuck? Why do we pick this? What is going on? What do you mean? I know. I know what.
I'm like, you get it now, don't you?
No, I got it, but I was like, why she said wet? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the floor's wet.
The floor's
Oh, Junpei, don't. Junpei,
There. It's soaking wet.
Well,
I just imagine
mean,
that
of course
gif
you
where the
would.
guy's just
That's the
constantly
way it
sweating.
works.
I mean, of course,
Of course, I mean,
I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
This game is rated mature. Just want to re-put up that content warning. This is an M-rated game. This content is not suitable for children.
You don't mind
Mind what?
getting wet?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Gosh, Jumpy. You're so brave.
Why do you have to say it like
I
this?
do not remember this at all. I think I clicked the right option when I did this. When I did this myself,
Like,
I don't remember this.
So coincidental. It's like everything, the state of mind, what she's saying, it's so perfect.
It's so well written. It's perfect. This is an anime. This is now an anime.
Yeah, yeah. This is when the perverted protagonist is like, oh, going in an elevator. Well,
Yeah.
oh shit! I mean,
She
of
says
course-
she's gonna get wet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, one place to get wet. Oh my god, she said I'm brave. Of course I'm brave.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to do it.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, you know? What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you've just got to go for it. That's what a man is supposed to do. I guess.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
I admire your braveness in going to fuck in the elevator. I mean, shit, man.
Oh my god, it's priceless.
I'm really scared.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes. So, I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Oh, what?
Over?
Yes. I'll go to heaven.
So perfect. So many things.
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Oh, experience?
Yes, I'm right there.
Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside.
Go inside the man, I mean, generally.
Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
What are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, is that
it's-
so? Oh,
That it's
God.
only natural. It's not. Is that what's natural for living beings?
Okay, I'm laughing. I'm more amazed that this is still going. Like, it didn't
No, right.
stop. Like, it's still
This
going.
is an anime.
Like, we're having a full-on episode.
This
of
is
just-
like when fucking in Phonal Panic, Fumofu, when Tessa like almost drowned. Or no, when Sosuke almost drowns and Tessa has to like do mouth to mouth, and she's like, "Getting wet is my business. I'm a submariner."
Getting wet is my business.
Jesus Christ. Poor choice of words.
I just love his reaction. What are you trying to do to me, woman?
Yeah,
Who
I love
are
it.
you? What are you trying to put in me?
Alright, perhaps he'd been mistaken all these years. He had misunderstood life. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. June seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and
I
terror.
know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even
Here we go.
10 minutes.
Now it's cleared up.
Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once
You-
that
you're
happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out. Huh.
Oh.
The sudden realization of. Dude, you probably. Sweet. That's a great.
That was great laughter.
I mean, June, you probably should have led with the breathing underwater, but I'm glad you drew it out for like.
I'm glad you drew it out.
Glad
That
you-
was entertaining.
I especially love that you drew it out because, you know, you're about to die. You have a certain amount of time, and we just spent all that time, you know, talking about putting it in Junpei. I mean, God, man, just so sad.
Putting it into Junpei. Here we go. Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what June was trying to say and why she was so scared.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
She was afraid that the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
The other option
Come to
was
think
the
of
right
it,
answer,
the lower
Kevin.
floor,
Who knew?
D-deck is completely underwater.
I know, right?
An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Tested?
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned. Are we only supposed to wait 10 minutes before meeting back up with... Never mind.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E-deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and a pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket.
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped into the elevator. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Huh?
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways, just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Wait!
Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late. Here we go! Going down into the bowels of the ship.
It closed!
The door had shut, and he and June were in the elevator, and it was headed down to E deck. I mean...
Continue.
Okay. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have the time to think about what awaited him on E-deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
The elevator stopped and the door slid open. They tentatively stepped out and looked around. I was having so much trouble.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business, or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out, and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously then. Exhale.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Junpei thought about that for a moment.
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Did waste a bunch of time.
Now then.
I mean, we had an important conversation about life, so.
Exactly. Junpei glanced around the room they'd found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an
Well-
opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
Junpei and June set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was the number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back to C deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed the map on the wall.
Is this the map for E-Deck? I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
They'd met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they had found. Apparently, there was another numbered door on A deck, just like the one on E deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors, the 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Yeah, even so, it's still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out, even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large, pleading
Yeah,
eyes.
you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
8 plus 6 plus 5 equals 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1.
Just kidding.
Ah.
All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all that impetuous. All the impetus that he needed. Impetus. Fuck. Can't read, okay? Back to the large hospital room they went.
What could go wrong?
The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
It was 7.
7?
Ace was right behind him and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who had seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment they simply stood there looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
Seven was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
Seven couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by... Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is... dead. He died, just as the 9th man did.
Whoa, I mean, kind of figured, but what?
It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. And we know Snake knew the rules of the game. Keep that in mind. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white.
That's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait! Not that way!
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at Seven. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
The shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
Seems to do that a lot, because remember he did that with the music plate?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really smart.
Very useful.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Their new destination cleared, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left
This
wall.
wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as Seven had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it
Well,
open.
Let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment and then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
This is just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching toward them as they walked in through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But...
Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that they would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out like a fresh spaghetti.
Ugh.
Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the 9th man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh God. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had been split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in
Oh, the
pieces.
face. It's horrible.
Yeah, can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost all of it made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are.
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat.
Ugh.
The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each of them in turn and
It's
continued.
pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it, alone, and waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door. And then, 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and
Well,
grunted.
just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah. That means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed
How
shocked.
can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Actually, 2.
Well, not just
2
one.
of us.
If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes, that is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion.
Saying don't be suspicious is kind of suspicious, don't you think?
Just a bit. Just a bit.
We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes, almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered
If
that.
Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Junpei, was Zero still on the ship with them? Mr. Leonardo, is Zero on the ship with the players?
Zero is one of them.
Zero is one of them? Okay. Of course. Of course he was. That was obvious.
I don't...
Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought.
Where could Zero be hiding?
Suddenly everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again he heard the ghosting moaning noise. And moments later a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Dun dun dun.
Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? Was he one of them? So, you already said you think so, right? So we'll select that first one.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
I would love to take 9 like RPG players and put them in a situation like this game and see what they do with their role playing of their characters. I think it'd be cool.
No reason. I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
7, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because...
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself, he had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed.
Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7, Clover, Junpei, I know how you feel. But you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
You're right, but
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say inside. Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
our next destination is Mercury.
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
All right, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
Zack bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the two elevators. Because they got another key in the shower. Just in case you were
The
curious.
Mercury
what was
card
going on.
reader.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah,
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Junpei slid the card through the reader. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic
I
noise.
guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly they began to move downward.
Oh, so this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular
Hey,
dead end.
over there.
This is a numbered door.
This is the 8th one we found. There were
Okay.
2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5. 3 more in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck. It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
Every door except for 9. Now door 2 stood in front of
That
Junpei.
means...
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they'd folded up and lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to pull together a blind
Just double
vote.
checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That they would allow people to force others to go through certain
Yeah,
doors.
quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm and began to open and read the pieces
All right,
of paper.
let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second
Next
one.
is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the third, fourth, and fifth pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But...
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Barely.
So, last I checked,
Barely.
that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Lotus's hair flared out like a mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a voice
not
that
good.
shook the walls.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked at the sixth torn piece of paper. He opened
June
it.
wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
All of the papers, save Junpei's, had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
This is the door on A deck near the central staircase.
7 and Lotus requested door 2.
This is the door on the bottom deck and could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship.
Santa and June requested door 6.
This is the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central staircase down.
Then the door I should choose is...
It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the seventh piece of paper and spoke.
Okay, the last one is mine.
Okay, so
I want to go through...
what's your choice?
Are we stopping here after this?
We'll stop right after this decision.
Nicole's gonna make it.
I think Nicole might be
Why?
incapable. Oh no, she is here.
I just shut the hallway light off because it's too bright.
Okay.
I want to go through door 6.
Door 6?
Yep.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
Junpei spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she'd
None of
said.
these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. June, Junpei, and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Her face was cold and flat as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 equals 19. 19 is 10, and it's 1. The first problem solved, Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attire, or her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so...
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6.
7. Lotus, what do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
So once we get through the door, we'll save up.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Yeah. Be careful.
We should
Be
get
careful,
going as
Grandma
well.
Raisin.
Grandma Raisin. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E deck.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of the door 6.
Here it is. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Then let's get to it.
One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. The door opened, and all at once, the 4 of them leapt through it.
Hey! I found it! It's right there!
Okay. We shall save here. Okay. I'm gonna not return us to the title screen because I just want to hold it here for a second. I want to go into the menu. So I just want to ask some theory crafting questions here, Leo.
Okay, go.
So if Snake was murdered by 2 of the other people, who were they who murdered him? You gotta remember that he was a 2.
Yep.
They needed a digital root of 3.
I'm pretty sure, while I was thinking about this, I'm pretty sure I think, no, it's me.
I mean, guess one person, and we can figure out who the other person would have to be.
The door was 3, right?
3. Which would mean they would need to make a total of 12 to get it open. Or higher than that, right? Of course, 21 would also work.
That would be...
So you're looking for people that make a total of 10 when combined together. So, like, for example, it couldn't be Ace, right? Because...
Wasn't it door 3, though?
Door 3, yes. But you're adding 2 to a number to get 3. Right? To get a digital root of 3. Which would mean either be 12 or 21 as the ending numbers. Right? So, like, if you included Ace, right? Let's just say you include Ace. What is the other number to get to that? The other number would be 9. But there is no 9th man.
Yeah.
There is no number 9. Right? So, like, who do you think... We know it wasn't Ace, that means, like, clears Ace's name. Unless it was 3 other people, but...
That just seems...
Who else did it?
Don't...
So who do you think... We know it wasn't 4, right? Because we know it wouldn't be Clover. Right?
Oh.
And 4 would combine with 6, which would be June, right? So we know it's not June. Right? Because then that would be 264, right? Let's just keep narrowing this down, right? So, what other combinations do we have that obviously aren't our own, which is 5, but 5 wouldn't combine with anything anyway, because it would be 2, 5, 5 to make 10.
Can you
Make
start
12.
with muting the game because it's really annoying?
Yes. Good question. No, I actually can't. I'd have to stop streaming. Why don't we just do that?
No.
Oh, I accidentally disconnected instead of stop streaming, but that's okay, because I can just do the math on my end, right?
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
love you, Leo.
Love you.
Love you. So we know it isn't us, right? So what's the next number? What's the next number? 3?
It's probably. I mean, it's probably not, but. Maybe that's why.
2, 3, 7.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It would be Snake and it would be Santa and 7.
It'd be Santa and 7. Right? So when you think about that, right? Like, that's the only logical combination.
Mhm.
right? Because 4 and 6 doesn't work. We know it wouldn't be Clover. 4 and 6 wouldn't work. 1 and 9 doesn't work because we know there's no 9, right? So then the other option is 5 and 5, which doesn't work because there's not 2 5 bracelets. So that's everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 7. So I figured I'd just throw that out there. Just, you know. I don't know what other theories you might possibly have. I just remember stopping and doing the math when that first happened to me, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, that's big. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you have any more theories that you want to share. If you thought about it. Who's suspicious, who's not suspicious? Who do you think is 0?
Well, I think is 0. I feel like hard to say.
Hard to say.
But I don't think 7 would do it. Because
I know it seems weird, right? Like, it doesn't seem like 7's character.
I feel like... Because, okay, how would this work? Oh! No, that'd be dumb. That's dumb.
That'd be dumb?
Yeah, I was saying, no, that'd be stupid. What if one of the bracelets were 0?
What if one of the bracelets were 0?
What if one of the bracelets are 0? And 0? Cool. I mean, this is based on the theory that, oh, Ace is the bad guy.
Ace is the bad guy.
And so it'd be 1 plus 2 plus 0 makes a digital root of 3.
So Ace worked with 0 to put Snake in there? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, who has the bracelet of 0?
It's... yeah, that's the dumb part of my theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dumb part. And
right, because 0 would be equivalent to 9 in terms of digital roots, right? 0 would be the same number as 9, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Because effectively you just add nothing to the number, which is the same thing 9 does.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Have you thought any more about that very first interaction with the doors, when the 9th man went through and he yelled, "He lied to me," before he exploded?
June is 6, right?
June is 6.
June could 9. No, I'm joking. Who knows? Because he knows.
Mm-hmm.
How would that work for the door, though? So, like, for instance, they're about to go through what door?
We are about to go through door number 6, was it? We have 6, 5, 3, and 1.
So we're using the digital root of Ace plus...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what door you picked. Yeah, we're going through door 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The digital root would not work for that one if she had the 9 bracelet.
Yeah, if she had 9 instead of 6, right?
That would be 9.
Yeah, it would be 5, 9, or 5, 0. Sorry, you mean 0, right? 5, 0. 5, 0, 3, and 1 would make a digital root of 9. So, if she was 0 instead of 6, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't get through door number 6.
Wait. Hold the phone. Wait a second. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my fucking god.
It's Santa.
It's Santa. So we're gonna change this.
No. If we have the digit, okay. Okay,
5, 6, 0, and 1. That makes a digital root of 3.
No, wait. Digital. No, yeah. No. Wait. Okay, so no. Because we're going to door 6, right? So we have Ace.
Yeah.
Plus Junpei.
Yeah.
Plus Santa, which if we're saying he's 0, he's 0. Then plus 9 if we're saying June is not 6 and 9.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
15 making 1 5 would be 6.
I see what you mean. If Santa is June, or sorry, Santa is 0 and June is 9. But how does that make any sense?
Makes a digit root of 15.
I mean, it makes the right digital root, but
no, this is all based off.
Like, that would mean 2 people both don't have the number they have.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it's like the 9th man died, and what he meant by lying, like he could have been lying, like, oh yeah, just go through the doors. Blah,
Oh,
blah,
I guess you're meaning like if the 6 is not actually 6, then it's flipped upside down. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Santa is 0.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, and that would explain why he generally tries to go in the same room as her, right? You notice they went in the same room each time.
They always go through the same room because he knows his number has.
He knows his number is nothing, and he can't.
0 would only
Interesting
know
theory. I like that. I like that theory a lot.
And 0 would only know that it's not actually 6. She actually has 9.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that theory. I like that a lot.
Okay, wait,
so
okay.
Santa. So in which case, Santa and 7 killed Snake. But that also now that doesn't make any sense, right? Santa would need Ace. So you're saying Santa and Ace killed Snake? Then? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, no. Wait, what I want to do is, what doors did we go through that we had the options to? It was 3 and 4 the first one.
4 and 5. No, 4 and 5 were the first doors.
4 and 5. We didn't go through 5.
We went through
how much
4.
How much people went through 5? 4 people,
The
right?
other 4. Yeah. No. The other 5. The other 5 went through 5 because 3 of us went through. 3 of us went through 4.
Was the 3 of us that went?
It was for us. It was Snake and 7.
So that's
June, Santa, Ace, and Lotus, and who am I missing?
Going through door
and Clover. 5. And Clover all went through door 5.
Going through door 5.
Yep.
Okay.
I find this fascinating.
I want this because I'm this person. So we went Ace through went through 5th door, so that's Ace plus Clover, which is 4, plus June, which if we're going by it would be 9, plus Lotus, who would be 8.
Oh, there's the map.
Which would be 22, plus 0 Santa, so Digiroad is 2, 2, 2 plus 2. Wait, we went through door. God, I gotta restart because I'm real dumb. We went through door 4.
We went through door 4.
Door 5.
They went through door
Right?
5. Yes, that is correct.
I just want to make sure. I'm making dumb accusations.
So their math checks out with your theory, if that's what you're asking.
Hmm.
If that's what you're asking, because we're looking at 1, 4, 0, 9, and 8, which makes a digital root of 4. So then we're onto the hospital rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, you got to consider, like, if, for example, you have 3 and 6, right? The digital root of that is 9, right? So if you go 9 and 0 instead of 3 and 6, the math still adds up. No matter what, the math will still add up.
Yeah. And the door they went through was what number?
8. They went
8
with
and-
Lotus. So
They went.
if you go whether you go 3, 6, 8, that's a
It's
digital
9
root of
plus-
8,
yeah,
or
it's just
0,
9 plus
9, 8. Digital root of
17,
8.
1 plus 7 is 8, yeah.
Yep.
My brain is trembling.
My brain trembles.
My God. Again, this all could be just stupid, like coincidental. Like,
I know. I really like this theory. I really like this theory a lot. I find it quite interesting.
Santa is 0.
Santa is 0.
He was actually 9. Wait, did the 9th man use his thing on the?
Yeah,
Did
he used his bracelet on the door number 5 with Clover and Ace.
With Clover and Ace, so he's his 9. So what
So
door
he did
was that?
use his
Door
9.
Four,
It was door
wait,
5.
They went through. Okay, so those door 5. So 1.
That
plus
math
4
checks out.
plus 6. No.
9 plus 1 plus 4. Not plus, sorry. 9, 1, 4. Digital root is 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
Everything makes sort of sense now.
But that would both mean there's 2 9s in play.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a 3, like, so instead of the 6, there'd be 2 9s. Instead of the 3, there'd be a 0. So there'd be no 3 and no 6 in the game.
Yeah.
But 2 9s and a 0.
I mean, if we think about it in Zero's perspective, then what you were saying, like how 3 and 6 basically just 9. So it's like, yeah.
3 and 6 is an incredibly powerful combo. Just like really any of the other combos, right? 2 and 7 would be an incredibly powerful combo. 1 and 8 would be an incredibly powerful combo. And 4 and 5 would be an incredibly powerful combo.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, we went through door 7 with 7 by combining 4 and 5. This is an example. It's interesting. It's interesting theory crafting. I like it. I like it a lot. I like your thought process.
My goodness.
My brain trembles. Anywho,
My brain trembles.
that's where I'll end this video for tonight. But thank
Yeah.
you for joining us. And Leo, do you want to do your thing, or do you want me to just end it?
Like do the thing where you do the writing, you know, like you type
Yeah.
tippity tappity in the
Typity.
bottom of section of the video. It's called a comment. A comment is where you place an informational or positive, negative comment towards the thing you're watching. Like this video. Wow, cool stuff. You can hit that bell icon for the part 4.
Yeah, this is part 3, so that would be part 4.
Part 4 of 999. And you can hit that subscribe button, and you will be able to fly and shoot laser beams out of your ass. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
the shtick.
Subscribe or don't. I don't really care. Have a good night.